Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and here is the camera comparison of two smartphones below the 15K price segment, the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the Realme 2 Pro. Both the smartphones have great hardware and also good camera hardware, so let's find out how they perform in this segment. Talking about the specifications, the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2 has a dual camera setup with 12MP f1.8 primary camera and a secondary 5MP shooter for depth sensing. The front camera is a 13MP shooter with f-stop 2.0 aperture and a dedicated LED flash. Now coming to the Realme 2 Pro, it comes with a 16MP shooter with a f-stop 1.7 aperture and a secondary 2MP depth sensing camera. There is also an f2.0 16MP shooter on the front panel for selfies along with screen flash. So now let's go straight into the camera samples and see which is better. First up, let's have a look at the video recording. Here both the smartphones can record videos in 1080p resolution, and there is also support for 4K resolution on both the phones. Both the devices also supports EIS out of the box, and hence the video looks stabilized on both the phones. While the colors in the video looks richer on the Realme 2 Pro, Zenfone Max Pro M2 looks closer to natural colors. The Realme 2 Pro video also has better sharpness levels than the Max Pro M2. So here we would say there is no clear winner as both are equally good in terms of the video quality. Next up, the daylight captures. Looking at the samples, you could see both the devices offer good imaging abilities and the sharpness levels are also quite similar. You can also see there isn't much to differentiate between the two devices, and when it comes to sky colors, Realme 2 Pro does a slightly better job than the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2. When we reviewed the Realme 2 Pro, the sky colors were saturated, but with multiple updates this issue seems to have fixed. The images are also slightly brighter on the Realme 2 Pro. You could also see that Realme 2 Pro images have vibrant colors, but the Max Pro M2 sticks to natural colors. In close-up images, you could see both the devices have good colors and produce sharp images. Here when you zoom in, you can clearly see more details on the Realme 2 Pro. The Realme 2 Pro also tends to boost the colors in few close-up shots, while details are good on both the devices. Next, let's have a look at the low light captures. The Zenfone Max Pro M2 has f1.8 aperture, while the Realme 2 Pro has f1.7 aperture. When you look at the low light captures, the Realme 2 Pro offers slightly better results. As you can see, the noise levels are lower. In extreme low light captures, while the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has sharp images, there is a lot of noise creeping in the photos, which is more or less evident. Even in indoor shots, Realme 2 Pro performed slightly better. Now coming to the portrait mode. Here we could see both the devices are capable of producing good portraits. The edge detection is quite similar on both the phones, but here we would pick the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2 as the portrait shots were looking better on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 with better colors and sharper images. Finally, the selfie camera. The Zenfone Max Pro M2 has a 13MP shooter, while the Realme 2 Pro has a 16MP selfie camera. The skin tones are slightly better on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 along with details and sharpness levels. But the Realme 2 Pro offers a lot of options to take selfies in the camera interface. In extreme low light selfies and selfies with flash, Realme 2 Pro does better. Realme 2 Pro offers portrait mode in selfies, which is currently not available on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and will come via an update later on. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2. So it can record videos in 1080p resolution, and there is an update coming in for the front camera which will enable electronic image stabilization, so you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the front facing camera. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the Realme 2 Pro, which can again record videos in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the front camera of the Realme 2 Pro. So that is the camera comparison of the Zenfone Max Pro M2 with the Realme 2 Pro. So summing up, which is a better camera smartphone? It is a closely fought battle between these two camera smartphones in this price segment, and it is difficult to pick a winner as both have their own pros and cons. Both are well-equipped camera smartphones below the 15K price segment, with the Realme 2 Pro having an upper hand in the camera as of now. We expect ASUS to release the camera update later this month, which should improve things. So which is your pick among the two camera smartphones? Drop in your thoughts in the comment section. So this is Nirmal signing off with the camera comparison of the Realme 2 Pro with the ASUS Zenfone Max Pro M2. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.